getting up from the floor once you're down there. And of course, if you've gotten down onto the floor involuntarily, hopefully this little overview will help you to get up from the floor. But before we start into that, I'm going to demonstrate those for you. I'm also going to demonstrate getting up from a chair. So I know a lot of us can have problems sometimes getting up from a chair, so I'll demonstrate some ways that may be helpful in doing that. But before I start, I just wanted to do cover a few safety items as far as your home is concerned. I strongly recommend you have grab bars. If you have balance issues, you need to have grab bars in your home strategically located, both vertically and horizontally, so that you can crawl to them and work your way up if God forbid you fall. I also highly recommend a noisemaker in every room. And make sure your neighbors know if they hear you blowing a whistle or foghorn, whatever, that they know you're in trouble. And the whistles are fairly cheap. Well, they used to be cheap. This one was $5 at Walmart. But it's pretty loud. So if someone hears you blowing the whistle, they know, okay, you need help. You can also get electric whistles. They're battery operated and they're very loud. And they're very good as well, very effective. They're about $10 though. And I would have one in every room, and I would have it within crawling distance. I would also make sure my phone was always at a level where I can reach it from the floor if I fall. Having the phone up on the kitchen counter is not going to be helpful. If you're on the kitchen floor, you're not going to be able to reach it. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate now getting down on the floor if you need to. And the first thing you want to do is have someone with you. If you need to get down on the floor, make sure someone else is there with you who can help you if something goes wrong. So if you want to get down on the floor, let's say we're in a good sturdy chair, the first thing I would do, I'm going to come forward in the chair, holding the chair. I'm going to take my strongest leg. And if you're right-handed, usually your right side is stronger than the left and vice versa. But everybody's different, so it could be just the opposite. For me, it is the right side. So while holding the chair, I'm going to very carefully work my way down to the floor. I'm going to take that strong knee, I'm going to put it on the floor. And then I'm holding that chair really strong. Once I've got that knee securely on the floor, now I can work my way around holding the chair. And I want to come to all fours, or what we call in yoga the tabletop pose. This is called tabletop. And then from tabletop, I can go to where I need to go, or I can come to a seated position, and now you can play that game of jacks with the grandkids. Now, of course, when it's time for you to get up, oh boy. So getting up from the floor, now if you fell, God forbid, or if you were down on the floor with the grandkids, it's recommended that you try to start on your back. So you want to get onto your back, and if you fell involuntarily, make sure you have your balance before you even attempt to get up. In this position now, again, I'm going to take that strong leg, I'm going to put that foot on the floor, take this arm, and I'm going to roll to the opposite side. The other arm is the hand's going to be on the floor, so I've got some stability there. And I want to just roll myself over, and then carefully and slowly work my way back into that tabletop position. Go as slow as you need to, working your way into that. Now, once you're in tabletop, you can crawl to a grab bar, you can crawl to a coffee table, a sturdy chair, anything that you can use to work your way back up onto the chair instead of using a chair. So I'm going to get to the chair, grab the chair, make sure I've got it good and sturdy, and then I'm going to use that strong leg. I'm going to put that foot on the floor, and that's going to help push myself up as I'm holding that chair. And I'm using my arms to lift as well. Mainly the strength is coming from that leg. And I'm pushing up and I'm slowly moving myself back onto the chair. And of course, once I'm safely on the chair, if I fell, then I'm going to stay in the chair and I'm going to call for help. I'm not going to assume I could just get up now and walk away. If you fell, there's probably a good reason why you fell. And you need to find out what that reason is. There's also an option, if you can get, even if you went down voluntarily, if you're in that tabletop position, you can also go, but again, you would only do this if you knew your balance was good and sturdy. You can go into what we call downward facing dog, and then from downward facing dog, I'm going to walk my hands back, I'm going to walk myself up, and come to a standing position. So, just just another option, but please be careful in going from the downward facing dog coming up. If you have any balance issues at all, you probably want to crawl to the chair instead and use that method to come up. Also, just wanted to mention, there was a documentary, Dick Van Dyke, an actor, as you know, incredible, talented actor and comedian, and there was a documentary about him the other day. It was on PBS, and he was pretending he was an older person, and he was doing, I guess, pantomime you'd call it. He was walking with a cane. I'll just put this aside, and so he's going along with the cane, and he's going, very slowly, obviously, and someone comes along and steals the cane. So he's looking, and he looks, and he comes up and he says, "Oh Lord." And then he did something that we do in our class. He did the side angle. He came down, remember we do the side angle? He came down, very slow, nice and easy, coming down, and further, and finally, "Oh Lord," and down, and he rolled to his side. There's no good way to fall. I'm sorry to say that. So some will recommend if you're falling, you want to put your hands out and try to come down on your arms and your hands to slow the impact. But of course you could break elbows, and there's lots of things that can go wrong there. Others recommend go back on your tush. Well, you've got your tailbone to break, and lots of other problems could be there. Or you can come down on your side, as I just demonstrated. That's the way I would go, but even there, you're going to get hurt. No matter which way you fall, you pick your poison, the direction you want to go. But if your muscles are stronger, as we build our muscles in the warrior moves, the lunges and so forth, if they're stronger, like Dick Van Dyke, you can go nice and slow. You can take your time. And just gently come to. These muscles are really, really working. I'm still falling, but they're going to slow me down, and at least I'm not going to hit the ground really hard, hopefully. So anyway, hope that's helpful. And again, you'll get the handout. It explains everything we just spoke about. So cool. All right. So.